Welcome to Gearhaven. This is a gentle fantasy story from the world of the detective Glint, where mysteries are solved with kindness instead of fear. Find a comfortable place to rest and let the Lanternlight guide you. The case did not begin with a mystery. It began with a feeling that lasted too long. Detective Glint first noticed it at the start of autumn, when the city shifted its colors and the air sharpened just slightly. Something lingered. Not wrong, not broken. Simply unresolved. "I'm waiting," the city said. "For what?" Glint asked. "I don't know yet." So Glint waited too. Days passed. Leaves gathered along curbs. Lanterns came on earlier. People moved with quiet purpose, preparing for colder evenings. Nothing demanded solving. And yet the feeling remained. Glint followed it through markets, along canals, across bridges that had already taught him patience. He spoke with shopkeepers and conductors, musicians and bakers. No one had answers. Winter arrived gently. Snow muted the streets. Breath fogged the air. The city slowed, not out of fear, but necessity. The feeling softened, stretched thin across weeks of quiet routine. Still present. Glint did nothing. That, it turned out, was the work. Spring crept in slowly, melting edges, loosening knots the city had been holding without realizing it. Windows opened, chairs returned to sidewalks. The feeling began to change, not disappear, resolve. One afternoon, as sunlight warmed stone that had been cold for months, the city spoke again. "I remember now," it said. Glint listened. The city had not needed repair. It had needed time. Time to move through change without interruption. Time to experience a full cycle without being rushed toward a conclusion. The case had never been about fixing anything. It had been about staying present long enough to witness completion. By summer, the feeling was gone. Not lost, finished. Glint closed his casebook for that season and wrote, "Some cases can't be solved quickly. They must be lived through." The city breathed easily again, and Glint, satisfied, allowed himself to rest. Glint remained attentive as the season shifted. Autumn's colors deepened, then slowly gave way to frost. The city adjusted without asking for guidance, following rhythms older than schedules. Markets shortened their hours. Footsteps grew quieter. Lanterns burned longer. The feeling that had begun the case did not vanish. It matured. "I'm changing," the city said softly. "I don't know what I'm becoming yet." Glint did not answer. This case did not want reassurance. Winter passed slowly, as winter should. Snow gathered along rooftops and melted again. People learned which streets held warmth and which demanded patience. Nothing broke because no one forced movement where rest was required. Glint walked familiar routes, not searching, just witnessing. He noted how the city spoke less but meant more when it did. When spring arrived, it did so carefully. Windows opened, chairs returned to sidewalks, conversations lengthened. The feeling shifted again, no longer unresolved, but quietly expectant. "I remember now," the city said one evening. "I needed time to become whole." Glint understood. Some changes cannot be hurried. Some answers arrive only after being lived through. By summer, the case resolved itself without ceremony. The feeling faded, not because it was gone, but because it had completed its purpose. Glint closed his casebook for the season and rested his lantern beside him. Before moving on, he wrote one final line. "Not every mystery needs solving. Some need patience, presence, and trust in time." As the city settled into the long light of evening, Glint allowed himself to be still. There was nothing left to observe, nothing left to note. The season had completed its work, and the city carried that completion quietly within itself. Change did not always announce its arrival. Sometimes it simply finished. With the case closed, Glint rested his lantern, content to let time move forward without interference. Thank you for spending this time in Gearhaven. If you enjoyed this gentle mystery, you'll find more stories waiting in the playlist. Until next time, keep your lantern close and rest well.